We've got another feel-good story for you up next, or at least one that can help you feel better. On our youth-produced segment Gen Y, the teen reporters are getting tips on how to improve their self-confidence and body image.
I want you to write down some of the things that you really like about yourselves.
For many of us, especially teens, body image can be closely linked to self-esteem.
Body image is the way people perceive themselves physically. So it's essentially how you see yourself in the mirror. It ties in very closely with self-esteem, which is all about how you value yourself as a person.
We're endlessly bombarded with images that are unrealistic and unattainable. And I think as a young person, you don't even completely know who you are, right? And so you're led to believe that this is who you're supposed to be. Like, why would all these images be around? So does anyone have any experience with people with, say, a poor body image?
I'll hear my friends saying, oh, I don't like the way my butt looks, or oh, look how big my thighs are. And it's hard to hear other girls around you say that because it kind of brings you into a funk, like, oh, well, now maybe I should start thinking about how my body looks, right?
Yeah, like at soccer and softball, we're always comparing ourselves to each other, like, oh, my legs are so big and somebody else, well, we're insulting ourselves instead of like complimenting our friends.
Yeah, like my sister, when she was little, she got made fun of a lot because she was really skinny. And most people thought it was a compliment, but it hurt her feelings because a lot of people assumed that she had like an eating disorder.
The issue of body image does not only affect females.
For boys, it's about not being big enough and muscular enough, and so you get a lot of boys who are also very body conscious and are over exercising and taking steroids and doing things that are very harmful to their health as well, to try to build their body into the stereotypical ultra male.
Men are feeling this pressure of needing to show abs and size, and that's how you're going to get the girl. So some of the media images that you see, it basically gives you this message that you're not okay just being a normal person, right? One of the more disturbing facts is that advertising companies will hire psychologists to learn how they can make people feel inferior.
These are manufactured images. Kids will look at pictures and say, oh my gosh, I could never look like that. And it's like, well, guess what? Neither does the model.
Have you guys seen this one? Where they remake this woman, a regular woman. So she has blemishes, her face is asymmetrical. There's nothing wrong with her though. They change her length of her neck, make her eyebrows larger. No wonder our perception of beauty is distorted.
Parents need to be aware of the role they play in their teen's body image.
Parents also need to know that what they do does make a difference. When they're dieting, when they're barraging their kids with negative comments about the kid's body, and then role modeling poor behaviors and poor self-care, I think, yes, it starts at home.
I think it's really important that there be more education out there and that the education be available where the kids are.
I think the most important thing I learned today is that I don't need to look a certain way for the people I care about to love me.
Really, there's no such thing as perfect. Like, in one person's eyes, perfect can be tall and skinny. In another person's eyes, it could be short and athletic.
Today I've learned that it's not our bodies that need changing, it's our attitudes. This is Abby signing up for Gen Y on The Express.
Gen Y is brought to you by Options, Surrey Community Services Society.
Gen Y is a Shaw TV Access segment, and the youth reporters are volunteers. They pick their own topics, they do the research and the reporting, then they get some help putting it together. Now, what are we putting together up next on The Express? We've got turtles, treats, and tricks on the ice. Stay with us. Up next on The Express, Chinese box turtles.
Quite an unusual little turtle. They're fairly easy to look after.
Giants goalie Brendan Jensen.
He's come in and has played some real solid games for us.
The Express. This is your local voice.
We will not do as we are told.
We will not dump our friends just because someone says they're not cool.
We will not be shy when we have something to say.
We will not let boys have all the sports.
We will not be afraid to take on challenges.
We will not go on diets just to look a certain way.
We will not be ashamed of who we are.
We are girls.
we will do what's right for us.
Welcome back to the Express at the Fairmont Hotel, Vancouver. Now, I don't know who dreamed this up, but I love the idea. It's a candy castle made with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of candies, all kinds that you could imagine. And don't we all love a story about dreams coming true? Because that's what's on today's Giants Report as well, featuring starting goaltender Brendan Jensen.
Growing up the son of a university wrestling coach in sunny California, you'd figure hockey would be the last sport Brendan Jensen would ever play. However, when the NHL started to expand in the early 90s, their first stop was San Jose, and Jensen's parents became instant fans.
My mom took my dad to a Sharks game for their anniversary back in 1991, so the first season when they were at the Cal Palace. He really liked the physicality of the game since he's a college wrestling coach at San Francisco State. So he ended up buying like a 10-game pack, and it's the one where you get like the free hot dogs and sodas and stuff that when you come to the Sharks games. So when I was born, he started taking me to hockey games when I was like 2 months old, and then I've always gone to Sharks games.
Playing hockey in California is one thing. Playing competitive hockey is another. Jensen spent a lot of time flying the friendly skies just to play the sport he loved.
When I went into my second year Bantam, we decided that it was better like hockey opportunity to go play in LA where there was like more exposure and we go to more competitive tournaments and everything because the organization I was playing at wasn't the best organization in California. So we went down there, and on Fridays my mom would take me to the airport, or Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. and I'd fly down with a buddy that we were both playing down there, and we'd fly back on Sunday after about like 4 or 5 practices. We'd practice with like a couple midget teams there, and we'd play a game and come back and then do it all again next weekend.
After the Giants selected Jensen in the 2008 WHL Bantam draft, he had a cup of coffee with the team last season, but was sent down to Junior A Tier 2 for more seasoning. It has paid off big time. He came to camp confident and ready to go, originally earning the backup spot and eventually the #1 position.
I think they started out a little slow maybe at the beginning of the season, and I played that really well in Kamloops, and I've gotten more starts, and I think the players and Don have more confidence in me putting in the net, and obviously winning the games helps that.
You know, he's a sound goalie right now. He's not giving up a lot of rebounds and things that can get him into trouble, so he's come in and has played some real solid games for us.
His great start has made scouts take notice. He was ranked 3rd among WHL goaltenders in Central Scouting's fall rankings for the 2011 NHL Draft.
No, I'm really not trying to worry about my ranking and everything. Just going out there and playing well is the most important. And obviously, playing well will help my ranking get better, and it'll help the team win, and that's the most important thing.
Brendan's teammate David Musil also made the fall rankings for Central Scouting. Congratulations to both of them. Now we're going from hockey to happy pets on today's Express with this week's Critter Care.
Petland's Critter Care is brought to you in part by Nutrients Pet Foods, online at nutrients.com.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Critter Care. And Robert's got a little buddy with us. I'm going to name him Franklin. Just going to say that right off the top. Franklin the turtle.
I know who Franklin is now because I've got a toddler who enjoys Franklin.
Okay, so this is a Chinese box turtle. When you say box turtle, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's they have a sort of a fused carapace, which is the shell. And the bottom part of the turtle is called the plastron. And so it makes them have fairly limited mobility, even for a turtle. And all tortoises and terrapins are types of turtle. Turtle is the big family, and then you can break it down a little bit more. But these are quite an unusual little turtle. They're fairly easy to look after. Although we do recommend that you, by all means, do your homework with them,
absolutely.
Do your research, and make sure that we set up the proper environment, because this is a semi-aquatic turtle, and so they need a fair bit of land to move around on, and also a fair bit of water to swim around. Even though they're not a great swimmer, they do enjoy the water, and you can see we've got them set up with lots of moss, which they seem to be quite enjoying, and good appetites on these little animals.
I noticed, yeah, they were eating quite a bit. You're handling him fairly well.
Thank you.
But I've heard that turtles can bite too.
Turtles have quite powerful jaws, and tortoises have quite powerful jaws. When they're this small, they probably wouldn't bite too hard, but we certainly want to be careful with that, although they are also, certainly capable of being hand-fed. We can hand-feed them quite a bit. I'm not a huge advocate of a lot of handling of them. I'm doing this for television purposes, just so we can have them out, but it doesn't seem to be bothering him too much either. Okay. And long lifespans. There are many kinds of them. Many of them are threatened in our environment. And the more we know about them, the more fascinated we become with them.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna pet him. Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome. Thanks so much for the info, Robert. And we'll see you again next time on Critter Care.
Petland's Critter Care is brought to you in part by Nutrients Pet Foods, online at nutrients.com. Pets play an important role in our lives. Companionship, health, well-being, love. PJAC Canada, helping our industry care for your pets. Critter Care is brought to you by PJAC.
Chinese box turtles, a 5-star pet resort, goalie dreams, and radio realities. We've had quite a mix on today's Express, and we're not done yet. It's time for the spotlight on holiday events. Lace up your skates and take a twirl on an 8,000 square foot skating pond located at the top of Grouse Mountain. It's part of the festivities for the peak of Christmas. Make your days merry and bright at this unforgettable musical about love and friendship. Based on the classic holiday film, this tap dancing show brims with the tunes that will fill you with the joy of the season. Have you checked out the Vancouver Christmas market yet? Decorated wooden huts, entertainment, and the sounds of bells and carolers will set a festive mood while you enjoy a unique holiday shopping experience. You can also come down here to the lobby of the Fairmont Hotel Vancouver and take a photo op with the brand new Candy Castle. Now that's it for today's Express. If you have comments or questions, you can email us, theexpress@shaw.ca. We're going to leave you with a look at the local music scene and the Vancouver Chamber Choir. See you next time.